Hey guys, today I want to make a video where I talk about how to find peace, hope, and understanding in a world that is currently characterized by a lot of conflict. And this is going to be based on mathematical and scientific principles. So this is quite unique. And in order to explain this, surprisingly, we have to go all the way back to the Big Bang and the creation of the universe. And this will make complete sense in just a few minutes. So what's really unique about the Big Bang and the creation of the universe is not just that all the matter came into existence. The really special thing about the Big Bang was the creation of all the laws of physics. Think about that for a moment. There was the creation of the positive and the negative electric forces, two opposite forces. And you will see, if you look in the universe, you will see this duality of positive and negative element throughout the universe. You will also see it as we have man and woman, also two opposites, and we have war and peace, and hate and love, lies and truth, sad and happy, and emptiness and fulfillment. So it gets more and more complex as we move down the list, but the theme is the same, that one thing is the opposite of the other, and also good and evil, right? And there's a mathematical definition of good and evil. You could say that goodness is when you find joy when something good happens to other people and it benefits everybody, whereas evil is somebody who would find joy when something bad happens to other people that just maybe benefit you, such as making a lot of money on war, for example, or making a lot of money on sickness that is not good for other people, right? In mathematical and scientific terms, something like good and evil can easily be defined by using logic and using the opposites. Start by plus and minus, it is the opposite. Then you can just follow through with the same concept of opposites all the way through all the things that makes us human and all the things we know from human life. Okay, and all these definitions, they are based in logic, and they would be the same no matter what religion you have or if you're an atheist. All these concepts would still be the same and they still apply. This is completely non-religious definitions, but they also apply for all religions, these definitions. The same as the creation of the universe is the same for everybody. When we play back the movie of the universe that is currently expanding, if we play that backwards, it will be a universe that is collapsing or started at a dense point where everything was compacted into one point, right? So this is so simple logic that we all can follow it, regardless of our belief systems, right? So maybe now this completely changes your view on why we need something like conflict and evil in the world to exist. We need it because it has to be there as a free choice in order to be able to feel the quality of what is good and love, peace, and prosperity. We actually need the opposite to also exist in the world as an option. And then through consciousness and using your free will, you can choose exactly who you become and which side of the moral aspect you choose to invest your life in. Okay, so now you start to see that there's actually a benefit to having the opposite of all the good things in the world, as a benefit to having the opposite, because it creates perspective on life. You wouldn't, if you were stuck in an eternal paradise where everything was perfect all the time, every day would be the same, and maybe it will become a tiny bit boring. But in this universe we have here, where there are these opposites, and where evil exists, if some people choose to take that direction, then that creates a much more exciting, almost like a movie, you know? Like a movie would be boring if it was just somebody sitting in a chair being happy for 2 hours. Sounds funny, right? So you can choose to become a hero, or you can choose to become a villain in life. So you create your own movie by using your free will. Another beautiful way of viewing competition or conflict as something useful is in sports, where you're competing against your opponent. And in a way, you have to love and appreciate your opponent. Even though some people in sports maybe don't like their opponents, but if you ask them the deep question, would you be able to love and do your sport if you didn't have an opponent? If you ask them this, they will sit down and think, holy cow, actually I need my opponent in order to do my sport that I love. Actually, I need a high-level opponent in order to push myself to become a better person, a better athlete. If there wasn't anybody I could compete with in my sport, where would I find the motivation to become better? If there wasn't anybody who could make me strive, you know what I mean? And it's the same in the world, in the big picture. We have war, lies, media manipulation, hatred, conflict, division. That's what makes the movie of life and history exciting, because you get to choose your side. Do you want to be a hero and support truth, justice, and prosperity for everybody? Or do you want to be a villain that uses lies, deception, manipulation to just only benefit yourself and then put other people in pain? That's what evil is. And that happens all the time. Also people, investing in war, stuff like that, We talked about it already. Okay, and now let's talk about how you can analyze the creation of the universe, or more exactly, what was before the Big Bang. How can we analyze that in a mathematical and scientific way? And I have a really interesting way of doing this, just based on my knowledge of how to do mathematics, because I studied nanoscience in the university. So I think it's really fun to apply some of the tools I learned in mathematics to analyzing the creation of the universe. And this will also make sense in how to find hope, peace, and understanding in the current world that we live in. So just buckle up for a second and it will make sense. So now let's turn back time to the moment right before the Big Bang. So there was a tiny little point of all mass collected in the universe in a tiny little point, or maybe that mass wasn't even created yet. Okay. Now in mathematics, we would say that whatever was able to make all the mass and all the laws of physics come into existence right after this point in time, whatever that might be, we can call it X. So the unknown factor, we're just going to write it as an X, okay? Because that's what we do in mathematics. So what we can say about X, without knowing exactly what it is yet, is we can say that X has the ability to create all the matter in the universe and all the laws of physics from nothing. Okay, so that's just something that we have to conclude that happened because we see it all around us now. So whatever X is, it has these abilities to create the laws of physics and all the matter. I don't know if you ever thought about this. This is extremely profound and special. To be able to create laws of physics. I don't know how much you know about the standard model of atoms, like the rules that all the electrons follow, and the nuclei particles, like the protons and neutrons. All these particles, they follow very strict rules, and it's almost like music with how the different orbits of the electrons and the different energy levels. It is extremely profound that these laws came into existence out of nothing. The laws of physics could also have been made different. But anyways, back to the main story. We know now that all this came into existence, and we're going to call the cause of all this, we're going to call it X. So in religions, X is whatever God is in the religion, the creator of the universe. But the funny thing now is that even for atheists that don't believe in any gods, X still has these properties, because this is a scientific and mathematical approach. So if you believe that 2 + 2 = 4, then you also believe in the properties of X, because it's the same logical framework that we use to define these things based on mathematics and simple logic. You could also call it metaphysics, basically logic that exists beyond the physical world, but is proven by the physical world. So I'll end this video talking about my favorite slogan for a company, and that is "Be a hero." That is a slogan for GoPro, because we need more heroes in the world right now. So I hope this video helped you gain perspective on why we need evil in this world and conflict in order to bring perspective, in order to get a free choice of who you want to be, so that it will have value to choose to be a force of good in this world. And I hope this made you find peace within the current world situation. So go out and be a hero, be your best version of yourself. Now, if you like this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. This was a fun video to make, and I think very relevant in this day and age. And as usual, I tried to make the video in 2 minutes, but it ended up being around 10 minutes. But that's how it goes when you want to get into the details of the universe. You can't explain everything in 2 minutes. But in any case, thank you for watching. Give it a like, subscribe, and see you on the next one.